Comprised of the towns of Brenham, Burton, Chapel Hill, Washington, and Independence, Washington County is little more than an hour from Austin and Houston. The county is noted for its beautiful green rolling hills, which are blanketed with bluebonnets and other wildflowers in the spring. Located at the center of three major Texas cities, Washington County is not only an agricultural center, but home to over 30 manufacturers and industries. And because of its historical significance, it draws tourism from all over the country. On March 1st, 1836, a delegation of men gathered at Washington on the Brazos to decide the fate of the lands called Texas. The next day, the delegation unanimously signed the Declaration of Texas Independence, declaring Texas a free, sovereign, and independent republic. Etched in the history books forever is Washington County, the birthplace of Texas. It's located near the center of Stephen F. Austin's first colony and named for George Washington. It was organized in 1837 and boasted the capital city at Washington on the Brazos from 1842 until 1845, when Texas was annexed by the United States and the capital city was moved to Austin. Due to the intellectual and educational zeal of its pioneer citizens, Washington County was known as one of the leading areas of business, politics, education, and social culture of early Texas. The town of Independence was so renowned for its social graces that it was referred to as the Athens of Texas. Independence was founded in 1824 on land granted by Mexico to Judge John P. Coles, one of Austin's original 300 colonists. The area was known from 1823 to 1836 as Coles Settlement. In 1836, the name was changed to Independence in recognition of the recently declared Texas Declaration of Independence, and the little settlement with the new name grew and prospered. During the years that followed, Independence became home, headquarters, and gathering place for many of the great historic figures of Texas. Among its points of interest, the town hosted Baylor University and Independence Baptist Church. The church was founded in 1839, one of the first of the new republic. The first building, built of adobe, burned and was replaced with the present structure in 1872. Many names familiar to students of Texas history can be found on the membership rolls of Independence Baptist Church, but the most famous of all the people who made it their church home was General Sam Houston. As a matter of fact, General Houston's fondness for whittling can still be seen in the church. His initials are carved in the pew directly in front of his regular seat. As would be expected of such a larger-than-life figure, the details of his conversion to Christianity and subsequent baptism are surrounded with intriguing and colorful stories. We met with Butch Strickland, current pastor of Independence Baptist Church and curator of the Texas Baptist Museum.
This is the oldest continuously active Baptist church in Texas. It was established in 1839. The church met in homes in the wintertime and brush arbors in the summertime until 1853. Well, actually, between the time that they met at homes and the time they built the building, they met in the Baylor facilities up the hill. But then they built their first building right here on this site in 1853. And in the spring of 1872, that building burned. And in the fall of 1872, this building was built.
I asked Pastor Strickland to tell us about Sam Houston's baptism.
He was converted and baptized in the year of 1854 at the age of 61. But when someone of his stature gets baptized, it becomes an event, you know. And so people came from all over Texas to see Sam Houston be baptized. Well, because everybody knew about it, there was a couple of local boys, delinquent boys, who found out about it as well. And so they thought it'd be really funny to fill this baptistry full of brush and limbs and rocks and garbage and stuff like that. And so that's what they did. They came out and filled it up. And so Dr. Burleson, the guy who baptized Sam Houston, came down here and saw it, and he said, well, I'll just out general them, and took him down to Little Rocky Creek and baptized him down there. Where our church still baptizes, by the way. We still baptize in Little Rocky Creek. There's another story about Sam Houston's baptism I think is kind of interesting. I've heard the story two different ways, so I'll tell you both ways, and then you can decide which one you think is right. One of the ways that the story is told is that as he was coming up out of the water, Dr. Burleson says, Sam Houston, your sins have now been washed away. And so the other way that I heard the story was that sometime after his baptism, one of his old military friends from before rather sarcastically said to Sam Houston, hey, General Houston, I understand your sins have been washed away. But however the subject came up, Sam Houston's response was still the same. Well, if that be the case, God help the poor fish downstream.
The original baptistry, dug in the bed of the Little Jordan River, was used until it was shadowed by the fame of Sam Houston's new location. It was eventually abandoned and forgotten. We set out to rediscover this hidden spot of history on an early summer morning.
Water standing right there, and it looks like water's been running down through here. Probably just rain run off, I think. Yeah. Well, we know we're in the right direction because the water runs downhill, right? Towards the creek.
Let's follow downhill.
I don't think we want to try that. Maybe we better try another route. This one's kind of brushed over. There it is, right there.
We found the site on a creek bed in a little clearing where there was more rock than vegetation. It was evident that a road of some sort once passed right through the creek, but now plum trees, cottonwoods, and red oaks are filling the pass.
Carved steps down into it.
There are steps. It's quite large. Carved out of the limestone bed of the Little Jordan River, the old baptistry remains intact at least 151 years later. Its steps now covered with moss. The unique coffin-shaped design has been softened by the quiet but steady spring that flows through it, continuously filling and refilling the little baptistry, regardless of man or time. We left the site with a sense of reflection. How many treasures exist like this around us, hidden by muscadine vines, are buried in the undergrowth. Steady and sure, these monuments stand to remind us of the solid character and faith of the pioneers to this land, on whose strength we are unknowingly still carried today.